Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. This is a very, very simple question. Very simple question. What do you get when you mix a money-hungry company with a game that is clawing at its grave to stay relevant? I'll let you think about it. I'll let you think about it for a sec. Fortnite. Or in other words, you get Epic Games. I don't think much needs to be said. I'm sure everybody knows the name Epic Games. They are one of the biggest game developers in the world right now. They have just made the decision to completely terminate 1,000 of their not terminate, not like they killed their employees. What is the word I'm looking for? Laying off, fired, rather. They ended up laying off about 1,000 employees as of this morning, and this is an email that went out to those 1,000 employees. Now, I've read through this. I'm kind of just going to give you the skimmed down, broken down version of it, nothing too complicated, but essentially, they're stating that they have to make major cuts to keep the company funded, and that 1,000 employees will be laid off because of the downturn in Fortnite engagement that started in 2025. Now, this does make sense. I think it was well over 1 million players that actually ended up leaving the game, that they saw, actually stop playing the game within the last year. So that makes complete sense. Yeah, they are having like their own little recession. They then say that they're spending more money than they're actually making as a company, and they go on to blame it on slower growth, weaker spending, and tougher cost economics, current consoles selling less than the last generation, stuff like that. Having to compete with other more engaging forms of entertainment is what they say. Give me one sec. That also may be true, but maybe stop dumping so much money into things that nobody asks for. Genuinely nobody asks for. Now, they do address stuff about the games that they have on their platform, the games outside of the Battle Royale that they have on their platform, and what they're going to do with them in the future, but more on that later. They then go on to say that they need to start focusing on more content, more fresh seasonal content, gameplay, story, and live events, which, yes, that is what Fortnite was built up off of. It is, their core gameplay, whatnot. They need to start pushing Fortnite back to what Fortnite was and not this weird Roblox ripoff. They then say they want to accelerate developer tools with greater stability and capability as we evolve from Unreal Engine 5 and UEFN to Unreal Engine 6. They then state that this isn't their first rodeo, and Epic has survived holy crap, I can't speak, upheavals in 1990s with the move from 2D to 3D with Unreal Engine 1. They leave it off by saying that the market conditions are some of the worst that they've seen in a long time, and that the employees who were laid off will receive a severance package that includes at least 4 months base pay, with more based on tenure. We're also extending Epic paid healthcare coverage. For example, in the US, they'll receive paid coverage for 6 months. We'll also accelerate their stock options vesting through January 2027, extended quality, blah, blah, blah. So they are still receiving about like 4 months base pay, but this still obviously is very impactful to these employees' lives. There's 1,000 employees just gone like that without a job. I wish the best for those employees, and I hope they find a job where their expertise is very appreciated. But the 1,000 employees are not the only thing leaving Fortnite. As I said, they're going to be cutting back on some of the games, and there's going to be future developments to what games we're allowed to play by the end of, I think, October. I could be wrong. I think it's October. Fortnite Status posted this: Rocket Racing, Ballistic, and Festival Battle Stage going offline. Most of the reasons why these games are being taken down, I believe, is because of player engagement. Rocket Racing and Festival Battle Stage have like a well under 1,000 players almost every day. I think the last I checked, they only had like 400 players each. They also state that in April, they're going to be adding new car physics, hazards, and track building tools to the UEFN toolset, as well as stating that any maps made with the Rocket Racing assets before they're taken out of the game can be duplicated to a standalone UEFN island, and I believe still played on afterwards, after the update. As for the Festival Battle Stage, this is the battle stage where you are going against other players. This isn't the little island where you just like emote around, or the one where you actually play the songs with your team. This is the one where you're actually battling back and forth. So that is the only one that will be taken out as far as I'm aware. I think the other two will stay. As for Ballistic, they don't really give a set reason as to why they like need to get rid of this. I don't think the player count is like that low. And in fact, I'll check right now. Yeah, Ranked Ballistic is sitting at like 2.6k players at the moment, which also confuses me too, because you are getting rid of games that aren't working for you, that aren't making you any profit whatsoever. But why are you getting... One sec. Now, as you can see, we have Rocket Racing right here, and this is sitting at 776 playing currently. as well as Festival Battle Stage. This has 403 playing currently. Those aren't good numbers. That's not even something that should be in the epic category. Those are numbers that you get on like games that, you know, like games like the, wow, well, actually, as a matter of fact, that's crazy that Survive Lava for Brain Rots has 6K players. That's more players than these days. Oh, wow. Okay. Anyways, as I stated, these games should not be on here, but what I don't understand is why they're getting rid of Ranked Ballistic. Now, this game isn't even inherently that good. I don't know too many people who still play it. I would pick it back up if it weren't for the lack of content, but why get rid of a game like this when you have a game like Brick Life, for example? You know, nobody asked for this game. We have 2K players right now, which is significantly less than 2.6K players. Nobody asked for this. 0 people in the entire universe asked for this game. And I have played this game before. I play every game because I want to review everything, but this game is as shallow as a puddle. There's absolutely nothing to do in this game. You maybe like 30 minutes in and you're complete with everything that this game could possibly offer. But then you have games like Festival Jam Stage, Respawn Rumble, which I can understand. Respawn Rumble is a classic, but Party Royale, you know, they're just games that nobody touches anymore that you're not even going to address. But then in 15 days, we're waiting on Arenas box fights. Yeah. Now, for those of you who don't know what Arenas box fights are, you probably don't play Fortnite. It's like a small room. You're trapped inside of it with a certain amount of other players, and you have to box with your mats and fight each other. That's it. That's completely it. And in 15 days, everybody is waiting for Arenas box fights to officially come out under the Epic title, when we already have 15 million box fights game created by 1,000 people who play on the UEFN creator. So it baffles me that they want to make the excuse that they have to cut down on costs and they have to pull back on certain games and they have to stop putting money into certain games so that they can, you know, bounce back on their feet. But then in 15 days, they're going to release the same copy and paste game that we've seen for the past like 2 years. So yeah, I'm just not too sure what's going on with Epic Games right now. I wish the best for those 1,000 employees, and I'm sorry that you have to work for a company who doesn't know what the hell they're doing. But yeah, Fortnite is just kind of acting up, and I just kind of want to make a video about it, kind of just share my thoughts on it, and kind of inform y'all on what's going on. But that's pretty much it. So I wanted to say peace.